great pleasure to stand again and speak on the Motor Vehicle Sales Amendment Bill. And of course, that is the title of this bill, the Motor Vehicle Sales Amendment Bill. And I've thought about whether this is a good title for this bill or not, and I think it's a reasonably accurate reflection, actually, of what the bill contains. It is clearly a bill that is designed to amend the existing Motor Vehicle Sales Act, and generally speaking, the amendments, while positive, are not in and of themselves life-shattering or anything like that, are they? They are all generally relatively small amendments, so I don't think it probably warrants a grander title than what it actually is, which is the Motor Vehicle Sales Amendment Bill. And as I said, they are positive changes and follow what has been a reasonable process. And the changes primarily are around the renewal of annual registration for motor vehicle traders, actually a very good one around closing a loophole that prevents the automatic banning of traders whose registration is lapsed. That's positive. It's not huge in the grand scheme of life, but a very positive change. The requirement around the consumer information notice that we've discussed previously, and my colleague Mr Hipkins outlined so well. Also the removal of car market operators from the definition of motor vehicle traders, the removal of the requirement to display the consumer information notice for transactions between traders or between traders and wreckers, and of course increasing the jurisdiction of the Motor Vehicles Disputes Tribunal and the ability for them to publicise their decisions. So they are a number of good, solid amendments to the Act, but probably the Motor Vehicle Sales Amendment Bill as a title reflects pretty accurately what it is. There was a process around that which my colleague, the Honourable Leanne Dalzell, outlined. This, of course, the Motor Vehicle Sales Act was a piece of legislation, a good piece of legislation brought in by the previous Labor government that actually put in place things like the Disputes Tribunal, required good, solid consumer information and registration of motor vehicle traders. So a good piece of legislation with pretty chunky, actually, requirements because, as others have said, motor vehicles are a very important thing in New Zealand life and for many the most significant purchase they are likely to make. So the process then went, there was an automatic requirement of 2-year review, there was a discussion process, 12 areas identified. They carried through into this bill mainly, and the bill was considered by, as my colleague the Honourable Leanne Dalzell said, the Commerce Select Committee, a committee that she in fact chairs and does an extremely good job of chairing. We're all very proud of the Honourable Leanne Dalzell and the work that she does. She's extremely well qualified for that role and with a very incisive mind and a good ability, I think, to deal with the issues. So the process, again, but reflective, I think, of what this bill is called, the Motor Vehicle Sales Amendment Bill. Now, I had a thought about, is there something else we could call this bill that would be better than that? And I mean, while it is a very accurate reflection of both the process and of what's contained in it and its relative importance, it did occur to me that we could call this bill the not the most important issue facing the country today bill. And I think that's a very important point because as we're debating this bill under urgency, a nice solid bill, as we've all identified, under urgency, out there people are struggling. They're struggling to make ends meet. Unemployment is at a very high level. There isn't an approach to bring greater jobs or skills into our economy. And so calling the Motor Vehicle Sales Amendment Bill the not the most important issue facing the country today, I think would have been more accurate, really, and reflective of what is going on in the wider community, where, as I say, people are struggling to make ends meet. And linking that to the motor vehicle area, I noticed that my colleague, Chris Hipkins, a very fine Member of Parliament, when he was talking on the first reading speech, he talked about the implications of the recession on the motor vehicle industry and the job losses in that particular industry. He noted that a survey carried out by the Motor Traders Association in January showed that over 200 people had lost their job in the motor vehicle industry.